What is up, YouTubers, gamers, and hobbyists? Welcome to dun, 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 dun. It's another new playlist, and with good reason for this time. So, this playlist is one I've decided to take from my Patreon. In Patreon, I have a playlist called Painting with Pete, and I've decided to bring it over into my free content, into my normal regular YouTube channel. Now the reason is I had a comment from a subscriber recently who said I should do more like half an hour type videos. Now because this is the first episode, it might take longer than an hour. So this is essentially, it's another paint along video series, but it's only going to be roughly half an hour long. Like I say, this first episode might be longer because I've got no reference of time at the moment or how long it's going to take. And instead, the way it's going to differ, it's got to be different from on the bench. So on the bench, I do everything. Mostly, I do like production line stuff, like all the shields, all the swords, all that kind of thing. Well, with Painting with Pete, this is more of a single miniature from start to finish. Well, not necessarily finish, but half an hour's worth of painting. I mean, like, it'd be nice to get one done in half an hour, wouldn't it? Half an hour's worth of painting done within that time frame. Just whilst I'm talking, let's pop this on here like so. Right, sorry, back with the program now. See, I wanted to get, for this first episode, this is very special because you see two miniatures on the bench here, and sorry, by the way, you're going to hear the seagulls in the background for this one because of the camera, the way it's set up and so on. I'm not using any fancy microphones or anything for this. This is a half-hour paint-along, so that you don't have to watch like my On the Benches or On the Beaches in installments. So for this episode, I'm taking this miniature. Well, this miniature here, this is a village girl. It's called a village girl. Greek village girl it's called. And as you can see, it's pretty basically painted up at the moment. Not much going on. But it's for future role-playing campaign where I want this village girl to eventually become a fighter. So I want this miniature to be her. All right, so she's got a few basic colors on her at the moment, and what I want to do is transfer the ones that, you know, are going to be the same, like the skin and hair, over to this one, and we'll see how we go with that. See where we get in half an hour. Like I say, might not get a lot done in half an hour. I might. I don't know. We'll see. Very basic painting techniques, as you can see. No great shakes with the quality of painting here at the moment. And she's not finished anyway, by the way, just to let you know. But, you know, it's not going to be competition award winning or anything. And it's not a tutorial either. I'm just going to be painting and you can watch me. So I'm going to start. Now I know what colours I've used on her thus far. I've used Darko Flesh for her skin and Iron Jaws Yellow for her hair. So that's essentially going to be the main things. She's got blue. She's got Signar blue from the P3 paint range. So maybe I'll have a throwback to that in this one. I don't know. But what I'm going to start with is the Dark Oath Flesh. So I'm just going to move her to one side. I'm going to shake my Dark Oath Flesh, which is nice and easy because it's a contrast paint. So yes, I am using a top-down view for this one, and I'm just recording straight to the camera for ease. And so different. So I had a comment from a good friend and subscriber to my channel, a long time subscriber, I might add as well. So when people like that give me suggestions, feedback, I listen. And I thought, what a great idea. So I'm just taking Darko Flesh, popping it on. So she's had the same primer that the other one had, so this should end up with the same sort of effect, really. So I'm just so where this will differ from on the benches, it's slightly different camera angle, and of course the way I'm recording the audio is different. Right, so I think there's not a lot of flesh on show here, but Darko Flesh was what she had as a village girl. She's going to be a slave, because slave trading is going to play a part in my role-playing campaign. I've got all these big grandiose ideas for it, you see, and I'm one of these people that plans and never gets to doing stuff, but I will eventually. So there, I've got the Darko Flesh, and it's just her face for now. And that's all I'm going to concentrate on there. Yeah, so I'll only ever be working on, hopefully, with this series to make it different, just one miniature at a time. Right, that's it. I was using Artist Opus brush 00 for that. We'll close up this Darko Flesh now. Pop that to one side. I'm just going to let this dry a minute, because I can talk to you as well. See, I did... I was just touching up the base where I did the straps on her footwear on this one. So at this stage, she's obviously not just a common slave. She's probably like a servant in a like prestigious household or something like that. But I do have a lot of slave-esque type models. Primarily, it started with my Congo days of wargaming, because there was a lot of slave trading in that era, and so I got a lot of slave models kicking about here and there. These are 2 resin models from the same company. I just thought, well, I picked this one up because I thought, oh, it looks like someone I'd like in my campaign. And then I thought, I want her to progress to be a fighter or a paladin or something, who knows, that sort of thing. So I picked up that model there. Right, now as I'm going to be working on her hair next, I want an appropriate brush. So Insane Detail isn't going to be the one from Marmy Painter. That's not going to be it. So small airbrush, that'll probably do it. A small airbrush, yeah, from Citadel. So a bit, as my subscriber asked for me to do like half-hour videos, that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully in the future, when I get a more closed time frame, I will stop bang on about half an hour. So that's how it's gonna work. So shout out to Jamjar 43. Yes, I think that's the account you used to make the comment. So go over, check out his channel. He also does a fishing channel as well, which I got interested in, because I love nature and that sort of thing. And my friend is into all sorts, is into bowling and fishing and getting out in nature and that kind of thing. And I thought, oh, that's great, good on you. I wish I could be as good as that. It's tough in the world trying to juggle that sort of thing around. So I thought, wow, that's brilliant. Just watching someone fish can be very cathartic and very therapeutic. It's just not. I get the bit. I mean, I've never done fishing seriously, except as a kid. Not seriously, but I've done it as a kid. I mean, I think most kids of my era tried fishing at one time or another. All got a fishing rod and had a go. I wasn't brilliant at it, but it's fun, and I definitely see the appeal of it. You're at one with nature. You're getting out and about. You're appreciating the world, loving life, and I totally get that, man. I really do. And yeah, so keep those vids coming as well. It's all good. It's all good. Can't see me getting into fishing myself, but I do like to watch other people's hobbies, even when they differ from my own. For instance, I like watching people, like, I don't know, rebuild classic cars or old cars they find, that kind of thing. I like that sort of thing. Restoration, quite like restoration stuff. That's always good. And although this camera angle is, well, I'm finding it a little strange, if I'm honest, because obviously no matter where you have a camera, even if you have it far away, you have to have it zoomed in quite far, and that's difficult then to keep in the frame. I mean, I'm always going out of frame and on the benches or on the beaches. It's just, or kicking the camera. But if you don't do that, that means you have to have the camera quite close, and it's obtrusive to you, isn't it? It's takes up your space. And I'm not saying I hate this camera angle. I quite like it actually, but I'm finding it different because I'm just not used to it. End of the day, I'm just not used to it. I think I've gone over a little bit. It wasn't her hair there, but that's okay. So how this is going to work at the end of the half hour, if this is all I've done, this is all I've done, man. That's it. That really is going to be it. So she's got a lot of armor here. So that's going to be taken up by something like lead belcher or plate mail or I don't know, whatever, right? Just looking around for my kitchen towel. I know that's not the best thing to use. More on that in another video. But anyways, right. So that's those two colours done. Now, I'm not going to be rushing these videos, by the way. So I'm just going to be, and when I look back on this after, I'll probably, or I might get comments saying you've missed a bit there, or it's okay, it's fine. Like I say, it's not for a competition or a higher standard. It's just basic tabletop standard, just so I can chuck them on the table and, well, not literally, but just get them on the tabletop and use them as characters or NPCs even in a role-playing game. So what I'm going to do now, what I am doing is I'm actively studying this miniature to see exactly what she's wearing here. So I say it's a lot of plate mail, so she's going to have a lot of armor, but she's got some trousers. Now that could be where the blue comes in. So what I'm going to do is check the time. 13.5 minutes. Well, I might be able to get some done. So this is what we're going to do. Try and paint trousers onto her. So maybe the next, I don't know how I'm going to title these. Let's call her the village girl. Village girl makes good, becomes Palladin. It's a bit of a headline, that, isn't it? Right. Nice lot of cigar blue. So what I'm going to have to do is really water this down. Really watering it down. Okay, I think that's enough. Sometimes I get lucky on the mixing of the paints. other times I don't. So what I'm going to do now is work out which is going to be the most advantageous. Get me the 000 brush for these trousers. So that's how it's going to work, folks. Alright, so at this stage it's okay to go over a little bit because we can clean up in further stages. So my next painting repeat episode, I'm not sure whether I'll just number them. Might number them and just say what it is I'm working on. I could call her Village Girl Palladin. I don't know. You know, it's so my aim for today is to get this footage onto my laptop and upload it to that, and then I can always edit it and work on it tomorrow. I also like these ones where I don't have to marry up the sound. Not that that's an issue now. I'm using a different video editor now, which actually is easier to marry up the sound than it was with my old one. I mean, they've all got every video editor that I've ever used, and I haven't used that many, but I've used a few different ones. But they all seem to have pluses and minuses, things that they're good at, things that they're not so good at. Yeah. So it'd probably be easier to watch this as a video and say, well, look, I've missed a spot there. I'm sorry for the loud voices you can hear in the background. I don't know who that is. Someone over the road or something. I live in a private residential area, but sometimes people have garden. There's a lot of garden top, you know, in flats, but they got like roof gardens and that. So sometimes you get a lot of that garden party fever going on. Right, so there. That's good enough for now. If I go back and I see the places I've missed, I can fill them in at another time. Really, what this is doing is just marking her down as having similar colours, so that when I look through a box of miniatures, I can say, oh yeah, that was her as I haven't got to name it, but that was her as a slave girl or a village girl, servant girl, whatever, and that was her as a paladin or fighter or whatever. And that's how I'm gonna do it. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. She's got a funky looking sword here. I mean, that really does look quite spectacular. So if I use some, probably going to use something snakebite leather for her boots or something. I've got time. Just going to have a look for that. Talk amongst yourselves. It's alright, I found it. Okay, so I've got some snakebite. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I mean, I don't really mind, to be honest. Don't really mind. So obviously I'm going to get paint over the base, and I really hate doing that. That's why I was tidying up the other one earlier. I find it looks awful, but to get this done at this stage, and then I can go back and right. So some snakebite leather, and Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So you'd notice I'm using like speed paints, or contrast paints rather, here for this. Like I say, I'm not trying to win any awards with this. Keep saying, I feel like I have to keep justifying myself. Sometimes I'll be painting in a more traditional manner, as I'll only ever be working on, I think I'll only ever be working on one miniature at a time on painting with paint, so that's how it will be different from saying on the bench or on the beach, whereas I might chop and change to my heart's content, you know. I think, well, you know, I've had enough of doing these infantry. I'll work on these cavalry now, or I'll work on these robots, or, you know, these tanks, or whatever, you know. I'll just do some terrain, you know, whatever it might be. I mean, I could end up with a terrain piece here, a very small terrain, I should think, but terrain nonetheless. I've just done a Between the Battles video, by the way, where I talk about terrain. It might be up by the time you see this, I don't know. Terrain, in my opinion, is the unsung hero of any tabletop game. I see there's a gap beneath her right foot, so I might put some texture under that plastic putty or whatever, just so that I can make the ground a bit more uneven. It'll look more natural then that she's actually standing on ground. Okay. Yeah, I know I've gone over a couple of things here and I shouldn't have. That's fine. Wow. But for this type of venture, I think the speed paints and the contrast paints work very well. About 22 minutes, so just wash that brush off. These are slightly more expensive brushes, these Artist Opus ones. I don't like to rather leave them just hanging around in the pot or whatever. Okay, so we've done a bit of that now. I carefully measure what I don't just want to rush this for the sake of filling in the last few minutes. So what I've done here, I'm happy with. She's got a pouch, so she'll be needing another type of brown, a sort of contrast to the leather boots. That's fine. She's got belts, so I need to do it now. I'm thinking I'm going to need to do the armor next, pretty much. That will give her the majority of coverage then. Then we can say, look, oh look, this is Leela, the former servant girl who became the hero of the Four Lands or whatever, you know. I don't just making shit up now, but yeah, this is my fantasy world, so I'm liking this as a miniature, as a character. This is how I come up with characters. Sometimes I'll take miniatures, and we have a lot of miniatures to go through, so we'll be looking at them one at a time. Now, I appreciate we got two here, but they're essentially the same character, or they're going to be, but I am actually only working on the one. So what I will do is I will do the majority of her armor in lead belcher, probably next time. And then, because I don't think I've got enough time to do it now. I don't think so, no. And I'd be rushing it. So we're going to leave it here soon. And this will be Painting and Repeat episode 1. Alright, so if you are okay with this type of video and you like it and you want to see more content like this, give it a thumbs up. You know, hit that thumbs up button. So I'll try and get flat. Sometimes you get a hype button as well that appears. If you have that ability, you can only hype 3 videos a day, I believe it is. Obviously you can't hype your own, but I'd be very, very appreciative if you could hype mine, because it pushes my videos through the algorithm to more people, essentially. Then I can get more traffic through to my videos. Views is what I'm trying to bump up, because they're painfully low with all my videos at the moment. I mean, I'm okay with the amount of subscribers I've got, but you know, I want to get more views. So obviously I need to do some better videos, really, hopefully. And anyway, this is going to be my first episode. So there she is. This is Painting and Repeat. Do remember, all brushes lead to all. I hope this is the start of a exciting new venture, and I'll see you on another video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Bye bye.